Have you ever considered how many different ideas about faith, religion, and God exist among the human race? There are Christians, there are Hindus, there are Muslims, Shiites, and Sunnis. There are Confucianists, Shintoists, Buddhists, Baha'is, Rastafarians, atheists, agnostics, nihilists, humanists, deists, pantheists, New Agers, witches, wizards, and Satanists. There's a group online who claims to believe in a flying spaghetti monster. There are certain followers of Jainism who believe that there are over 300,000 gods. There are Unitarians who, Bertrand Russell said, believe there is at most one God. Even among Christians, there have been thousands of denominational variations and movements, and every one of them thinks that they are right. I grew up in a Baptist church, and we looked forward to the day when we would be in heaven and there would be no more divisions. Some Lutherans would be there, represented by Martin Luther. Methodists would be there, represented by John Wesley. Some Catholics would be there, though this idea was a little more controversial, represented by the Pope, and we Baptists would be there, represented by Jesus. Everybody thinks he or she is right, which means that a lot of people are going to find out when they die that they were wrong. One of the ironies of atheism is that if there is no such thing as life after death, atheists can never know for sure that they were right, and believers can never know for sure that they were wrong. All this difference of opinion raises a problem. Many people who are smarter than me, better educated, bigger-hearted than me, cannot even agree with each other. I cannot read every book. Even if I could, I'm not smart enough to untangle what perplexes minds far smarter than mine. So how can I choose with any confidence? About 100 years ago, a philosopher and mathematician named William Clifford wrote a hugely influential essay called The Ethics of Belief. He argued it is always wrong everywhere for anyone to believe anything on the grounds of insufficient evidence. Although he didn't say it directly, what he was really writing about was faith in God. He was really saying, a lot of smart people out there disagree with each other about whether God exists. There is no way to know who is right or who is wrong. So the only appropriate response is, don't decide, don't commit, abstain, opt for doubt. It was around Clifford's era that Thomas Huxley coined the term agnostic, which did not exist before the 19th century. Agnostics, Huxley said, totally refused to commit to either denying or affirming the supernatural. Huxley himself celebrated René Descartes as the first to train himself to doubt. Descartes' method for knowing was to begin by doubting everything until he found one unshakable belief. I think, therefore I am. My favorite Cartesian joke, Descartes walks into a bar. Care for a beer? Asked the bartender. I think not, says Descartes, and disappears. Huxley said, doubt had now been removed from the seat of penance to which it had long been condemned, and enthroned in that high place among the primary duties. I get his point. I would like to know for sure. I want to know if it's all true, that God is really there, that Jesus really did drive out demons and walk on water and raise up from the dead on the third day. I would like some assurance that when they play taps over my body down here, someone will be blowing reveille on the other side. I'd like to know. Not just trust, not just hope. I'd like the skies to part sometime. I'd like my own bona fide miracle, like my own burning bush or magic fleece or the Cubs winning the World Series in my lifetime. And since I can't know, Clifford said, I should just settle into the land of I don't know and be content with agnosticism. But a philosopher named William James responded that sometimes Clifford's advice is bad strategy. He said doubt is the wrong alternative when three conditions are met: when we have live options, when the stakes are momentous, and when we must make a choice. Sometimes I have to choose between two options even when I cannot prove either one. Cosmic neutrality ignores this problem. I have to live. I have to make choices. I have to spend my life praying or not praying, worshiping or withholding worship. I have to be guided by some values and desires, and then I have to die. I must give my life in total, in full, without the luxury of holding something back for the second 100 years. My life is the ballot I cast, for God or against Him. My brain cannot provide the certainty that I'm betting my life on the truth. My mortality will not provide the luxury of waiting until I know for sure. There is one road to certainty, through a door marked death. Then I will know, or there will be no me left to know. But I need to decide how I will live on this side of the door. Once we have been born, trying to put off deciding what to do about God is like jumping off a diving board.